Kelsey, are you planning on coming to my wedding? Although you happen to be Andy's older sister, I hear that you are a middle school graduate that plans on coming to my wedding. All the other guests will be surprised to see you there, I assume. I mean, it is expected that everyone that shows has some form of education, or at least a job worth working.
Fern, how are you doing? It's been so long since the last time you and I talked to one another. What are you trying to say to me right now?
I shouldn't have to explain myself for you to understand what this is all about, right? I know for a fact that your little brother is a doctor, and you know that very well.
Yes, I am very aware of that, in fact.
Hearing that a doctor's older sister never even made it past high school? That is very hard for me to believe, even coming from the man I love. If that's really the case, though, then that must mean you are pretty much useless at everything, correct? Right now, I am really wondering why someone as skilled as Andy had to end up with such a waste of space as you, Kelsey.
Are you making all those claims about me only based off the fact that I only graduated out of middle school? When you had met with me previously, was that the same way you judged me then?
I could see that you looked very nice in that fine dress you had on. But when your mother was going to explain your situation to all of us, Andy stopped her and told her to keep it quiet, right? That's when I knew that something very fishy was going on. I could tell that you were the one in the family that everyone sees as taboo and most likely don't like very much.
So that's how you came to saying such unfortunate things about me. Well, you were very mistaken then. You just happen to have a misunderstanding of me and what I do as well as of my past then. I believe my brother was just being kind and making that whole meeting about you guys and not about me by having my mom shut up.
Well, I'm sure people could say it like that as well then. Andy knows that you're an embarrassment to your family, and that's why he restrained your mother from talking any further about you. I get that you guys are all trying to hide the truth from us.
Fern, I'm sorry to say this, but you are very much wrong about that. That was not Andy's plan whatsoever when stopping my mom.
You poor, poor thing. Not only do you have such a terrible education, but not even your parents spent any time raising you into a proper adult.
Excuse me?
What I'm saying is true, right? You never graduated high school after all. I understand your family tried their best to cover up what a stain you are on your family's image by dressing you up in such a nice dress. But I could tell the moment I saw you that it was all a hoax.
Are you sure about that?
When you become someone of my status, it's pretty easy to tell the truth from the lies. I work with things like flowers all the time as an expert florist, so I have a very well-trained eye for all sorts of things. The way you act is even a bit rough.
I can see that.
If you are planning on coming to our wedding, then I'd really enjoy it if you took some classes in becoming a responsible adult and learn how to have manners. If you're not able to do that for me, then you won't only be causing a lot of embarrassment for your brother Andy, but for his bride as well.
I would like to ask you this just out of my own curiosity. But what school did you end up studying at and graduating from to become such an expert florist as yourself?
Huh? And why would you like to know such a thing as that?
Is it wrong of me to ask?
Even if I told you where I studied, someone like you would never be able to understand its importance. I'm surprised you were even able to ask me what school I've gone to with such confidence as that.
Well, I'd really like to know where you've went before your wedding. You say that you are an expert florist and a teacher now at that. That must mean you'll be arranging your own flowers to decorate the wedding, correct?
I teach things like making bouquets and things like that. But I'm also able to teach things like flower arranging for weddings and funerals. I happen to be from a school that's taught me all of that. So not only can I perform, but I can teach as well. So if you're trying to ask me to help teach you anything about it, I'm afraid it's all too high level for someone who couldn't even make it out of high school. Perhaps you should try taking after your brother first, instead of asking me such brainless questions.
Well, that didn't quite answer my question, but I'll be looking forward to hearing more from you at the wedding. And I hope on that day you'll be willing to tell me what school you went to.
How's it going, Miss Never Graduated from High School? Have you finally been able to recognize the large gap in status between you and I?
You really have arranged all these flowers here well.
You're able to see just how amazing of a person and florist I am, right?
To be honest with you, I don't see one bit of what you're talking about.
I guess even this is too hard for someone with no education or upbringing to understand, huh? Come on now, do you want to give it a try?
You're asking me to?
You can go ahead and try arranging some flowers. I'm feeling confident about you. I happen to have a lot of flowers left over that you can work with.
I might end up making you look bad, but is that all right?
What?
Do you really think the way you have all these flowers set up is the right way to display them for your own wedding?
What are you talking about, Kelsey? I was able to do all of the arranging by myself, and that's made my marriage to Andy even more exciting today. I knew that something like flower arranging would be too much for someone who couldn't make it out of high school, nor was ever even raised properly by her parents.
Then I suppose I will have to arrange some flowers for you today.
Really? I'd like to see you try.
Well then, allow me to put all my knowledge and skill into making up some very beautiful pieces for your wedding today.
What the heck is that? What is the meaning of all this? Why were you able to make such a beautiful and outstanding arrangement of flowers?
I just happened to use the skills I had to make up that arrangement for you. Of course, these are skills I learned while studying flower arranging in Japan at the Royal Palace there.
What? Royal Palace? In Japan?
I seem to have found that large gap you were talking about before, Fern. How does it feel knowing about it now, too? Has this completely ruined your mental state, making you want to quit your job as a so-called expert florist?
What are you on about? Tell me right now. What do you mean you got to study doing flower arrangements at the Royal Palace in Japan?
I happen to be a professional florist. And, as such, I was invited to Japan to study at the Royal Palace there in a 3-month course learning all the different techniques they use over there. And the reason that my brother stopped my mom from ever telling you any of this before was to stop her from ruining your pride.
Huh? Ruining my pride? Why?
Because, unlike you, who is just a florist and a teacher of flower arranging, I am a professional in the field. And had you learned that I'm a very famous flower arranger, you might have taken that personally and lost confidence in yourself. So, based on timing and things like that, I was going to wait to tell you about myself another day.
So, you guys hid all of that about yourself for my sake?
I told you that already, right? My family wasn't going to just go all in on making you feel like you're worthless compared to me. We happened to really care about how you feel and wanted to make sure we did everything we could to make you happy.
But I was told you never graduated from high school. And that's why I just assumed you were some lowlife with no education. I don't get what's going on here. Telling me that you're a professional florist and things like that aren't making things easy for me. If anything, you're saving all that until now has really caused me to freak out.
After I had moved from middle school to high school, I found out during an art expo that there was such a thing as flower arranging. I tried it out and found that I really loved the art and wanted to make a career with it, but didn't know how. When I asked the lady running the expo about it, she told me a lot of times professionals will travel the world learning all about the art of arranging. So during my second year of high school, I went and studied abroad in places like France and Italy, learning about flower arranging from the pros. I ended up staying out of the US for longer and longer, and when I finally felt I'd learned enough to make a career out of it, I moved back and by that point didn't return to high school, but instead got my GED. And after starting my work and making a name for myself, I was invited to the Royal Palace in Japan, where I learned even more about flower arranging and their ways.
What? That's what happened?
Just know that I have my GED, so it's not like I didn't technically graduate from high school.
So you're telling me you never did drop out of high school or anything like that?
Well, not like your average dropout anyway. Now, can we start looking forward to this wedding of yours?
How am I supposed to look forward to my wedding today after what you've done? I get that this is supposed to be my special day, but because you had to show off with your flower arranging, everyone's going to think I'm a joke. I'll lose everyone's respect in me and become a complete failure. At this point, there's no point in going on like this and having a wedding.
I understand that this might all be hard for you, but it's still the day of your wedding. I think you should stand back up and give it all you've got to make this day special for you and my brother.
Everyone that I teach is here at this wedding today. And right now, they're all starting to talk about having you as a teacher.
You can relax when it comes to that. It isn't often that I take in students under my wing, and it's very hard for me to even accept anyone. I don't even feel as though me teaching them at the stages they're all at would do them any good. Also, I don't have the time to teach anyone at the moment, as there is too much going on in my life.
Are you trying to say I have all the time in the world to teach them?
I'm not saying that in a bad way, Fern. It just happens to be that you are a teacher, so it's part of your job. So please don't get the wrong idea from what I've said.
I am not going to forgive you for all of this.
I'm really not sure why you are so upset with me over what's happened today, but you are supposed to be the bride today, correct? You had only asked me to take a try at arranging some flowers, and that's why I did so. If anything, I'm thankful that the bride asked me to do some of the arrangements for her wedding today. So please, stop trying to blame me for yourself being upset when you know it's not me who asked you to do all of this.
Well, even if I asked you to do all of that, I am not okay with what you've done.
Fern, can you please stop acting like a child right now? Can you please place away your hard feelings towards me and just enjoy your wedding today with my brother?
Why would this happen to me? What have you done? This is all your fault, Kelsey.
Hold on, what are you talking about now, Fern? It seems you happened to become a little too jealous of my abilities and ended up hurting yourself in the process of getting back at me? You tried to come up from behind me and push me into your wedding cake, only for me to move out of the way last second as you sent yourself into it. You made all your guests laugh a lot after that one. I never did anything to provoke what you did, so this is all on you, correct?
The wedding has been canceled, all right? Why are you doing all of this to me?
And why do you keep acting like I'm the one doing all of this to you? It just happens that my brother, my family, and yours, and all of your students that you invited are fed up with your childish behavior. And now the wedding is over because of that, right? What do you want me to do about this? I'm going to be honest that I can't do anything to help you out of the mess you've got yourself into now.
If you had never done something as needless as make those beautiful arrangements, then I could have given a wonderful wedding to all my guests as a happy bride.
It's all over now, Fern, so I think it's a better time than any for you to calm down a bit and think everything you're saying over.
I don't care about calming down right now. If you had never showed off in front of me and all the guests, I wouldn't have had to freak out and come after you. But you went ahead and made such a perfect set of arrangements today.
And I told you already that it's my job to make things perfect as I'm a professional and am paid to be. And this time, I really should have asked for some form of pay after all the work I put into those arrangements for you. But it's my brother's wedding as well, so I thought it'd be okay to provide that service to you all for free. Really, you just happened to not be as good as you thought you were, and so my flowers shined against yours. So please stop getting upset with me for doing what I've trained so many years to do. And I want to ask you to please stop teaching your students your form of flower arranging, as it's not good and they'll never be able to make money with it.
I don't give a crap about the flowers anymore.
And you call yourself a flower arrangement teacher? Shame on you, Fern.
You know dang well that the wedding was the most important thing to me today. I'm sure that with the way things turned out, Andy is going to want a divorce now. It's all because of you that my whole wedding and marriage has been ruined.
Fern, have you still not realized anything yet?
Still not realizing anything? What are you talking about?
The only one that's to blame for all of this happening to you isn't someone like me or my family, but yourself.
Huh? What do you want to say to me?
I was trying to make that very clear to you just a bit ago. You tried so hard to make yourself look good in front of me by gambling on me being bad at flower arranging. But after you realized that I was no joke and far more competent than you at this job, you fell short and began to freak out at the embarrassment of having all your students look up to me. And you have to realize that in doing all of that, you actually really embarrassed my brother as well, right?
I didn't mean for any of...
Even if you didn't mean to try and embarrass me and make me feel bad about myself, what's happened today is all because of your actions. Do you understand that?
I don't understand a thing about this. The fact that my wedding had to end up being canceled like this?
My brother had every right to ask for the wedding to be canceled after what you did to embarrass yourselves. You were trying to push me into the cake, but ended up falling into it instead. Your face wasn't only covered in loads of frosting, but your dress and everything was ruined and in tatters, right? Can't you see that by not canceling the wedding, things would have only gotten worse for you? I think Andy made the right choice here in having the wedding canceled. Now you should take from this that you have to stop acting like a spoiled brat and move on with your life.
You shouldn't have to say things like that about me. My heart is already broken and you're going to call me a spoiled brat?
Also, I understand that you think highly of yourself for being a so-called expert florist and teacher, but you don't have any of the necessary requirements to be a teacher in that art, right? I believe you really need to find a new job for yourself, as you are no teacher, and if anything, you're a scam to all your students. So please stop calling yourself an expert in things like that for me. Your way of arranging is not good, and I wouldn't even put it as being standard level. I think that if you really want to go into this profession, you should start by learning from a professional.
But to become a professional would require me to spend money. What's wrong with me making a little money teaching students with how to do flower arranging my way?
What you are doing is not okay, as it's just another scam. And I've already explained this to my brother so that he can think on it.
What? Why would you do something like that to me?
I'm just trying to stop someone like you from posing as an expert and ruining the image of us real professionals. And can you stop saying you went to school for any of this? I told my brother to make sure you find something else to do besides working in flower arranging. So, you can have a word with him now about how things are going to go for you.
Kelsey, please. Can you please just forget about all this and go back to us both being kind sister-in-laws? I have finally been able to marry a doctor like Andy, and today was supposed to be the perfect day for me. I was having so much fun with everyone being so jealous of me, ending up in the perfect situation. Why did this have to happen to someone like me?
I'm not sure why, but I'm going to say no to that.
Why are you saying no? I'm asking you to please come back and be my sister-in-law.
Even if you ask me in the nicest way possible, I can already tell you haven't learned anything from today and you only want to make yourself feel good. Now good luck fixing that whole mess on your own. I'm sure things from here on out will be tough for you, but I think you should start by finding a new occupation besides working with flowers. Now, best of luck to you when you have that conversation with Andy. I'll be wishing for a future where I'll never have to run into someone like you again. In the end, the wedding was officially canceled and never was able to be finished. And as Kelsey was hoping for, there was never a moment after that day where her and Fern ever ran into one another again. Andy ended up learning a terrible amount about his wife and decided that it would be better to divorce her than sit around and wait for her to learn her lessons. And so, he told her that he no longer loved her and would be divorcing her. He wasn't going to ask her for anything in the divorce, as he already knew she didn't have much. But the one condition he stated was that she could never come around him or his family again after she was out of his house. Fern's parents also ended up giving up on her after her actions and were not willing to listen to her complain and ask for help after she was divorced by Andy. And it wasn't just her parents either, but pretty much every person she knew showed no sympathy to her and didn't lend a helping hand. And as she sat there for months in her flower shop waiting for people to show up for months on end, she began to realize that there was no use in her being a so-called florist anymore, so she had to sell the shop and move away. She lost a lot of money not having any students or customers come in those months, and even selling the place didn't get her enough to break even on it. So when she moved away, she had to put herself into a very rundown apartment, with not a lot of foot traffic in the area to keep the rent down. Which in turn left her with few options for work, but anything would be better than her being a scam to all her students and paying customers. She was surely asking for it when she tried to play games and embarrass someone like Kelsey. But such heartless games as that will only end oneself in a worse place than they started. And as you can see right here, Fern ended up as the embarrassed one, with Kelsey coming out on top. hear that I was finally going to be getting married? Isn't it just so exciting? I can't believe that it's finally happening. And the man is super duper rich, too. It's perfect. It's just the way that I've always wanted to get married. Too bad a sad, boring, pathetic loser like you could never even dream of achieving something like this in your entire life. So that's why I thought I would tell you.
Wait a second. Is this Lucy? I can't even remember the last time that you and I talked. And just why in the world are you messaging me about this right now?
What do you mean, why? Did you not read any of the messages that I just sent to you? Are you stupid or something? I am messaging you to let you know that I'm getting married. Isn't that obvious? And just what is with that attitude that you're taking with me, huh? You ought to be much more grateful that I'm even deigning to message someone like you in the first place. Honestly, I show you all of this kindness and consideration, and this is how you show your gratitude to me. You really do have a lot of nerve, do you know that?
Literally, what in the world are you talking about? What part of any of this conversation is you being kind to me? Anyways, message received. I know you're getting married. Congrats, or whatever.
You know, you really are starting to piss me off with this crappy attitude of yours. I expected you to be happy for me. You should be much more cheery and excited that I'm finally getting married.
Well, I really just don't know what you want me to say to that. I mean, we aren't in high school anymore, you know? So if you're just hoping to message me out of the blue like this after all this time and expect me to pretend to be happy for you, well, it's just not going to happen. Now, is there anything else that I can do for you, or are we done here?
Well, you should just know that you weren't even invited to my wedding anyways. So there.
Okay, that is just fine for me. Thanks for letting me know officially, though. I appreciate that.
I mean, did you really think that I was going to let some weirdo, a little shut-in nobody like you into my amazing wedding? Yeah, a fart chance. After all, I know that you came to our high school reunion when we had it not that long ago. You really think that you can brag to everyone just because you got to go to college? Well, nobody even cares.
I wasn't bragging to anyone about going to college, but also I graduated a long time ago. You realize it's been years since we talked, right? And I never really expected you to even invite me to your wedding in the first place, so none of this really comes as a surprise. In fact, if that's all you came to tell me, I really don't think that we even had to have this conversation in the first place anyways.
Well, you should also know that I'm going to be inviting everyone from high school to my wedding, and that's why I had to reach out to you to let you know that you can't come. You and all your weirdo little friends aren't going to be invited to what is surely going to be the wedding of the century.
Yeah, again, you really didn't need to tell me any of this because I already wasn't planning on going, nor was I even expecting an invitation in the first place. I wouldn't even want to go if you did invite me. You literally could have just not texted me anything at all and the outcome would have still been the exact same.
Well, I just wanted to let you know so that you wouldn't come begging to me later to invite you too when you found out about everyone who would be going. But the answer is no. It just isn't going to happen. I'm not even going to think about having to deal with a gross dumb loser like you on my big day.
Lucy, are you even reading any of these messages that I'm sending you at all right now? I don't want to be invited. I don't want to go. I didn't even want to know that you were getting married in the first place. But what did I expect from you? It's clear that you haven't changed at all in all this time. But can you just please stop messaging me? You're really annoying, and it bugs me. I mean, we weren't even friends to begin with, so there really is no need for us to be talking to each other now that we're adults and so far removed from high school.
you go again, trying to brag about how you think that you're so much better than everyone. You think you're better than me just because you went to college? I know that isn't it at all. You're just scared to even have to think about reliving our days in high school. That's why after you graduated, you even had to move states just to get away from me. And I stayed home and never left, because everyone knew that I was the prom queen, and that I would always be the prom queen for all of time there. That's why you left.
I was not running away from you or high school, Lucy. If you think that's what I was doing, that says more about you than it does me. I left the state because I got a scholarship at the college that I went to. And besides, plenty of people moved away after graduating. But you should know that I'm really not the same person that I was when we were still in high school. But there hasn't ever been even a single day where I ever thought about wanting to see you again. So anyways, congrats on your wedding. I'm sure that you're very happy to be doing it. But you should know that you have nothing to worry about because I won't be going.
Hey Rachel, are you there? I just wanted to let you know that I'm engaged. I guess maybe Mom might have sent you a message about that or something, but I also wanted a chance to tell you myself. So that's the big news.
Mom did tell me about that already, but I'm still so excited for you. That really is just the most amazing news, Eric. And I also just wanted to say that I really am sorry that I wasn't able to meet the lucky lady when you brought her to Mom and Dad's house.
Oh, it's okay. I know that you're really busy with, well, basically everything, right? Besides, there's nothing wrong with just meeting her at my wedding.
Well, I really am looking forward to it. I still just can't believe that you're going to be getting married.
I know, right? Anyways, I've sent out the wedding invitation soon, so that should tell you all the details that you need to know. And then all you have to do is RSVP.
Well, I'll just keep my eyes peeled for it then. Actually, I think the mailman already dropped off stuff, so maybe I'll go and check my mailbox now.
For sure. Just let me know when it all arrives for you. And there's actually something else that I kind of wanted to talk to you about.
Your invitation did come! Oh my gosh, this is so exciting! I can't wait to open it and see what it looks like! And yeah, of course, you know that you can talk to me about anything. What's up?
Well, the thing is that the person I'm going to marry was someone you went to high school with.
Oh, really? Well, that's kind of a small world moment, isn't it? I wonder who it could be.
Well, I think it was actually a girl from your same year. Because she's the same age that you are, now that I think about it. So I think there's a chance that you might know her.
Well, I just opened up the wedding invitation, and yes, I think it is safe to say that I do know who this person is.
Ah, I thought so. So you recognize the face and name from when you were a student in high school?
I do, yes. But have you told your fiancé that I am who I am? Does she know all that much about me?
Well, no, not exactly. I've dropped hints, but I haven't right out told her exactly who you are. I mean, I remember you didn't really have a good time at all in high school, and so anyways, I just wanted to give you a little forewarning about who I was going to be marrying. I just wanted to make sure that it wasn't someone that you had some kind of huge problem with back then, or something like that. You know what I mean?
Eric, I really appreciate how thoughtful you're being with this, but I want my high school days to not affect your wedding at all. To answer your question, however, I do know who this person is. We were in the same year through all of high school and had plenty of classes together.
Oh really? So then it's not just another student, but someone you actually used to know pretty well then, is that right? Sometimes, the world really is just a bit too small, isn't it?
You really don't even know the half of it. Actually, it might just be better if you and I could talk a bit more about this in person.
Oh really? You mean like go meet at a cafe or something like that? Is that alright? It seems a bit unlike you since you're always so busy.
I know, but I really do want to be there to help you celebrate your wedding, so I just think it might be best to talk about this.
Well, okay then. if you really think this is worth having a conversation about. I'll make some time in my schedule, and we'll try and find a time soon to talk about this.
Perfect. Thank you so much. I'll send you some times that work for me, and you can tell me if any of them work for you. And I really am happy that you're getting married and that you're happy with the woman you're with. I'm looking forward to being there for you.
Excuse me, but what in the hell do you think you're doing at my wedding? How did an ugly, creepy little loser like you manage to sneak your way in here, huh? Don't you realize that you're just being an eyesore for everyone here? You're ruining the whole mood of my special day right now.
Do you even realize what you've done? You really have no idea just how much trouble you're about to be in.
I should be saying the same thing about you right now. Now, I want to know how you managed to sneak your way in here and why nobody stopped you at the door. Don't they let people at the front know that you're not invited? Your name shouldn't have been on a list anywhere, and yet you managed to break in here.
I really think that you don't know what you're talking about at all right now. I mean, I didn't sneak in here, if you must know. But more importantly, I want to know why you thought it was okay to throw your glass of red wine all over my dress. I got dressed up and came here to help celebrate this wedding, and you went and did this to me. What is your problem? Why do you always have to act like this?
You know exactly why I had to do what I did to you. You really think that I'm going to let some loser from my high school days try and ruin my wedding like this? Of course you snuck in. I know for a fact that I told you not to show up here, and yet you had the audacity to show your face. I told you that I didn't want to see you or any of your weird, nerdy little friends at my wedding. Everyone else from high school was supposed to be here, but you. Or do you just hate me so much that you wanted to ruin my big day? Do you want me to hate you even more now?
Again, I really think that you're not getting the whole picture. You're missing a lot of information. It's going to go bad for you.
And just what do you know that I don't about my own damn wedding, huh? You're nothing but an annoying, condescending loser. And now you've gone and completely ruined the mood of what was supposed to be my big perfect day. This was supposed to be the happiest day of my life since senior prom. But no, you had to be the lame little creep that you are and show up where you aren't even wanted and weren't even invited.
And I am telling you that you are wrong about that. You don't know what you're talking about. You jumped to conclusions. You threw the wine and you ruined the mood. Not only that, but despite all of this being your own fault, you haven't even apologized to me once.
Apologize? You want me to apologize to you? You want the bride to apologize to some unwanted guest on the day of her wedding? You must really think the world revolves around you, huh? Well, if you're waiting for me to say that I'm sorry, you'll be waiting a long time. Besides, I was the one who told you not to show up to my wedding in the first place, remember?
And that's why you were trying to bully me out of your wedding? To make me go away? That's why you threw wine on my dress.
Of course. It's clear to me that my words weren't enough to get the message through to you. So I had to take more drastic steps. I just hope that you finally learned your lesson about doing what I say. Now get out of here and never come back again.
All right, then. But I guess you'll just have to explain to your husband-to-be why his sister isn't at his wedding.
What are you even talking about this time? Huh?
No, don't let me take up any more of your time. I'll do just as you say and go away. I can tell where I'm not wanted. But I just want you to know that you're probably going to regret this. Of course, when you do finally get punished for all of this, you'll have no one else to blame but yourself. What is the matter with you, Lucy? Can you please stop blowing up my phone like this? You're being so obnoxious and creepy right now. I mean, you must have left at least 300 text messages and missed calls on my phone.
You think I'm being annoying now? You haven't seen anything yet. But I want to know what you think you're doing right now. The wedding is about to start and things are falling apart really quickly.
And just why do you think any of that is my fault? Unless this is your way of saying that you've finally figured out who I am.
So then it's true. Everything that people have been telling me about you since I made you leave is all really the truth.
You mean the fact that I'm Eric's little sister? Yes, if that's what you heard, then that much is the truth.
But, I mean, this can't be right. I mean, I know that Eric has a younger sister, but he never told me all that much about her. Please tell me that you're kidding me, right? I mean, you're really his little sister. Oh, that can't be. This can't be happening.
Well, I already tried to warn you that you were missing some very important information before you tried kicking me out. Although, to be fair, I really have no idea what my older brother is doing marrying a woman like you.
This doesn't make any sense at all, though. I mean, how can you two be related when you're so far apart in age? I really had no idea that your older brother was, well, so much older than you.
You're right about that. We do have about an 8-year gap in between the two of us. But that still doesn't answer what I want to know. Just how in the world did you fool my little brother into wanting to marry you? That's what I can't understand.
I didn't trick him at all. How dare you even try to insinuate that about us?
Oh, really? Because I don't think that you've been telling my brother about who you really are as a person.
And just what is that supposed to mean, huh? You think you know who I am better than I do?
Oh, I think I know exactly the kind of person that you really are. I have more than enough memories of high school to back those thoughts up as well.
Wait a second. You haven't told your brother about the kind of things that I would do to you in high school, have you?
No, I haven't told Eric about all the ways that you used to bully me. Yet. It's clear that my brother must have some kind of true feelings for you, so I haven't decided whether or not to tell him the whole truth yet. And if you really do want to know, I'm leaning towards not telling him anything. What happened in the past was between us, and it really isn't any of his business.
That's right. It is none of his business, and it's just between you and I. So why don't you just keep your big trap shut?
Oh, trust me, I'm not going to tell him a word at all. But I really don't think that's going to make a difference for you at all.
And just what do you mean by that? What do you mean it's not going to make a difference?
I mean, just think about it. Think about what you did to me, and I really don't think I need to go that much deeper. Either way, I don't think it's going to make any difference now. But just don't say that I didn't warn you.
Warn me? Warn me about what? There's nothing to warn me about, and you aren't going to get in the way of me being with Eric.
You know, when Eric first told me that he was going to be getting married and I looked at the invitation, I have to say that I was honestly surprised to see that he was going to be marrying you. I thought to myself that surely this was proof that the universe did have a sense of humor and that it was a dark one.
Well, if you were surprised, then so was I. I had no idea that marrying would have to mean that I would be gaining such a terrible little sister-in-law. I have no idea how I'm even supposed to be enjoying being married when I only have the full picture now.
Well, then it sounds to me like you really don't know my brother all that well at all.
You really are just full of presumptions, aren't you? Who do you think you are to tell me that I don't know the man that I'm about to marry, huh? You really need to watch the way that you talk to me.
I don't know. I mean, you got married to him without even knowing that he had a sister who was me. It just makes me wonder what else you don't know and if you're going to regret what you've done.
Regret? There's nothing to even regret. Everything is going to be just fine and nothing you can do is going to change that.
I see. And just how do you think that you're going to get along being part of the family with my parents and I then? Huh?
What do you mean by that? Why should I care at all about you or your cruddy family?
Well, you do realize that now that the two of you are going to be getting married to each other, that this means that you and I are going to be seeing a lot more of each other from now on. You can only try and avoid me for so long. But sooner or later, the issues between us are going to come to head. So why don't we just talk them out now and get this over with?
Wait a second. Why are you doing this? I don't get it. I don't remember you being like this from high school. You were such a pushover who let me do whatever I wanted to her. Oh, but surely we can patch this right up. We can go back to being the way that we used to be. We were friends, remember? I was in charge and you did whatever I said.
Friends? Is that how you remember it? You really think that we were friends in high school?
Of course we were. We were always friends, remember? So let's just make up and forget all about the past and look forward to the future, okay? We can just let bygones be bygones and forget all about whatever we might remember about each other from back then.
I'm sorry, but that is not going to happen for me. I can't just let what you did to me go, and I don't think that my brother or my family is going to either. I'm not going to tell them about our past, but I am going to make sure that they know what you've done to me today.
Oh, come on. You don't have to go and do that. You're taking this whole thing way too far right now, don't you think? It was just a little bit of wine that I splashed on you anyways. You're not actually that upset about it, are you? I barely even did anything. Why are you doing this to me? What did I do to make you hate me like this?
You have done so much that to list it all right here would take too long, and I don't care to type out the essay of things that you put me through back then. But if you really want people to know about our past, how about I go and tell my family about the time that you poured hot oil on me when we were in home ec class? Do you have any idea how much pain I was in when you did that? I never told them who it was at school who did that to me. But I'm sure that my family would just love to know who it was.
No, wait. Please don't do this. You said you weren't going to tell anyone about anything that happened between us in high school. Don't you want your brother to be happy with me? If you care about him at all, then you can't tell him about us.
But I thought that we were friends. You mean you don't want me to tell him about how close you and I used to be? Just what do you want me to do in a situation like this, then? Huh?
What do you mean by that? What do you mean, what do I want you to do?
I mean that you kicked me out of your wedding because you thought I was still the loser you remember from high school. And now you need my help. I know that things are falling apart over there for you, and I'm the only one who can explain things to my brother. But if I talk to him, I'm only going to tell him the truth.
Please, whatever you do, don't tell your brother about the wine. I'm begging you just to come back and set this all right. I promise that I won't do anything else to you. Just please don't say a word about how you and I used to be like that in high school to everyone, okay?
You know what? I think I've changed my mind about all of this. At first, I was going to try and let everything go and not say a word to anyone. But after all of this dredging up old memories that you've done, I think I've changed my mind. But you know what the saddest thing is? I knew that you were going to try and do something like this to me if I came today.
Please, just don't say anything to anyone. I'm begging you here. What do you want? Is it money? If it's money you want, then I can give you however much if that's what you want. Just please don't do this to me.
And just why do you think that I would want any money from you? Besides, what would even be the point in taking money from someone like you in the first place?
Rachel, please, this is my wedding day. I've been looking forward to this for so long. This was supposed to be the happiest day of my life.
And I think it might have been too if I chose to just let all of this go. But now you're trying to get away with acting like a child, and on top of that, you still expect me not to tell my brother anything. Well, the only one who is going to be able to let all of this go now is my brother. Your fate is already out of my hands. I've already told him everything.
Wait a second, are you serious? Did you really tell your brother everything, even though I was still begging you not to? Why would you do that? Did you send the message just now? Can't you unsend everything? Please, I'm begging you.
You really are starting to get on my nerves now. Do you know that? I wish you'd just shut up and leave me alone already. If you're upset about what's happening right now, then you have no one else to blame but yourself. You did this to me, and now you're begging me to make you take responsibility for your actions. Well, now, I have been patient and passive and a victim long enough. I'm not going to stand for that awful behavior anymore.
Are you really this mad at me just because of a little wine that I threw on you? Isn't this taking things just a bit too far? I'll apologize to you if that's what you want. Just please, don't try and ruin my marriage with your brother. He's everything that I've ever wanted.
And by that, you mean rich enough to make it so that you'd never have to work another day in your life. Isn't that right? I know that you're unemployed after all.
What? Who told you that? How did you find out that I didn't have a job?
Well, my husband told me about it, of course.
Wait a second. Husband? You're married? I didn't know that.
Well, I am. And if you want another big surprise, I'm married to someone else that we used to have classes with. You remember Logan from algebra class? We had other classes with him too, but that was the one that the three of us had together. Well, he actually ended up going to the same college as me, and we started dating while we were there. Of course, when we got married, we both agreed that we didn't want you or any of the other horrible bullies that you hung out with to be there. Anyways, now that I've said that, I'm going to have a chat with my brother. After that, I called Eric and explained to him what Lucy did. Then I told him about how I didn't want to tell him about Lucy and I's past at first, but that after this incident, I thought he had a right to know. Needless to say, the wedding was not to be. Eric stormed into the main hall where the wedding was supposed to happen and apologized to everyone, but said that he couldn't marry Lucy because of what she did to me. Everyone turned to stare at her, and she was so humiliated that she ran out of the room. Lucy's parents went to talk to Eric, who explained to them everything that had happened between her and I. They apologized profusely and said that they would pay for all the decorations and reservations for the wedding that wasn't to be. I heard that after that, Lucy became a shut-in who barely left her home at all. Eric was also sad from all of this, but he told me he was just happy that he didn't end up married to someone who had and would continue to hurt his family.
Hey there, Dee. How's it going? I just wanted to ask if you were really thinking about coming to my wedding. Were you really planning on showing up there? I mean, are you really going to show your face there? Hello there, Tanya. Yes, I was planning on being at your wedding, actually. I mean, it is also my brother's wedding, you know. Oh man, so you're actually going to come to the wedding then? Oh man, I thought it was a joke when I first heard it, but the reality is even more funny. I mean, to be honest, I didn't even want to have a wedding in the first place, but I guess we have to have one to appease the family, right? You really don't want to have a wedding? I know for a fact that my brother and so much of my family are really looking forward to getting to be there. I mean, I really don't think you should be talking about your own wedding like that, don't you think? Oh, so now you have a problem with what I have to say about my own wedding? Well, excuse me for having an opinion. I should have checked if it was okay with you first. No, you're right. That was out of line for me to say, and it is your wedding. You're entitled to feel however you'd like about it. Well, it doesn't help that the only reason I'm even marrying Henry is because our parents basically decided it for us. Something about someone in your family being an important business partner with my family or something like that. Ugh, I seriously hate politics. And the worst thing of all was that my parents knew that I had someone else that I liked, but they insisted that Henry and I get married for the good of our families. Can you believe that? Wait a second. So you don't even love my brother? Is that really what you're saying right now? Well, I'll say that I love him if your parents are there or something, of course. I'm not going to blow this whole thing up just because I don't like it. But you should probably just forget that I said anything about all that to you, and if I find out that you told anyone, there will be consequences for you. Not just for you, but I'll make sure that our family's business ties come to an end right there. Well, of course I would never tell anyone what you just told me. That was a pretty personal thing you said, and it isn't exactly my business. That's right. It is none of your business. Although, I have to say that you're pretty sharp despite only graduating high school. So I suppose since you've been smart enough to know to let what I said pass by without telling anyone, I'll let you come to my wedding and won't raise a fuss about it. But you know, normally I would never want an awkward little weirdo like you at an event like my wedding, so I suppose you'll just have to make sure to bring a couple of presents to apologize for your presence. Sorry, you want me to bring you an extra wedding present just for showing up? Am I understanding that right? Oh, it's nothing that serious. I just want you to sing me a little song at the reception after the wedding. I mean, I was going to sing something for the wedding party anyways. But I want you to follow me after I sing my song and do one yourself. If you can do that for me, then I really won't have any problem with you being at my wedding. You really want me to sing at your wedding? Well, I guess I could do that, but just one song, okay? Wait, what? You're really going to go through with it? An awkward little nobody like you is going to sing for my whole wedding party? Are you serious? Oh man, that's great. It'll be a hilarious show that'll be sure to get the whole wedding laughing out loud. Oh man, this is going to be so awesome. And you agreed so much faster than I thought you would. Oh, I did? Well, I'm glad that you're looking forward to this at least. Of course I'm looking forward to this. I mean, what could you even possibly be thinking of singing? Just know that if you don't sing the song well, that I won't let it count and you'll have to start all over again. Anyways, I guess I'll see you at the wedding tomorrow. Can't wait to hear what you have in mind.
Hey there, Dee. I just wanted to let you know that I finished talking with the venue, and they said that they were willing to make the last-minute changes to get everything ready for you. They sent me a few photos of what they got set up, and it all looks good to me, so I guess that we're all set for everything.
Thank you so much for taking care of all that, Henry. I really do appreciate it. But you didn't have to ask them to set up a whole performance space just for me. I just hope that it wasn't too much trouble for you or them to get all that ready for me.
Oh, come on. You really think we're going to have you perform at our wedding and not at least give you a workable stage to perform on? I bet half the wedding party is as excited to see you as they are to actually see the wedding you're going to be singing at.
Oh, come on, don't say that. I'm sure that most people haven't even realized that I'm going to be performing there yet.
I know, but to be honest, it's always been a dream of mine to do this. You remember the promise that we made to each other when we were little? Well, now it's finally going to be coming true. And I really do just want to thank you one more time. I mean, I know that you and Tanya really haven't gotten along all that well since we got together in middle school.
Oh, come on. That was already more than 10 years ago. Do you really think I care at all about what we were like when we were kids? Of course I remember her making fun of me and saying that I sounded weird all the time, but now, looking back on it, they almost sound like compliments. Although I suppose I did make for quite a few funny rumors about you and I in middle school, remember?
Well, I can't really blame kids that age for not knowing more about opera singing, or how to appreciate it really. But anyways, I just always felt bad that you got picked on so much, and there was so little I could do about it.
It isn't like that at all, Henry. You and Mom have always cheered me on at home and pushed me to take my voice to new heights. I'm fulfilling the promise that we made in middle school. Then I just want you to know that I couldn't get to where I am now without you.
Dee, I really don't know what to say to that, but thank you so much. That really does mean a lot to have you say that. And I know that Mom and Dad are really looking forward to seeing you sing at the wedding. We all are, really. I'm so happy that you agreed to go along with this.
Of course, and I'm really happy to have so much support from friends and family regarding this. Anyways, I'll keep warming up, and I guess I'll see you tomorrow for your big day. Hey, Tanya, are you there? I just had a little question about what was going on here. Ugh, what do you want? I seriously don't have time to talk to you right now. Don't you know that I'm in the middle of getting changed at the moment? Sorry, you're busy changing right now? Because I think I heard you were busy doing something else. Oh, oops. Did you manage to find out my little secret? I really thought I was being more careful about it. But I don't understand. Who was that man that I saw you with? I mean, I just stepped out to try and find where you went so that I could ask you my question. And then what? You saw him and I making out in the hall, didn't you? I think it's kind of romantic, to be honest. But what else is love and romance if not thrilling and scandalous? I think there's lots of romances that have very little scandal to them. I mean, how could you even try to justify this right now? And who was that guy? You still haven't told me. He was dressed up in a suit, so is he one of the wedding guests or something like that? You really think that I'm going to tell you who that man was I was kissing? Oh, come on, I'm not going to make it that easy for you. Why don't you go and do some sleuthing instead? But good luck finding him at a wedding like this. There's more than 100 guests here. You'll never be able to hunt him down. Tanya, I really think that you're being ridiculous right now. I mean, how do you think my brother would feel if he found out you were doing this behind his back? And just what makes you think that I would care at all about how it makes your poor brother feel, huh? He's just a boring old stiff who can't seem to get the stick out of his butt. Besides, are you really going to pretend like it's weird not to have a couple other men on the side? Are you kidding me? You mean that man isn't the only other one that you're seeing right now? I'm sorry, Tanya, but I don't think that I can keep quiet about this. If you have issues with my brother, that's one thing. But this is just cheating. Don't you see that? What? You really think that you can do anything to stop me from doing or being with whoever I want? Oh man, that is so funny. It's almost sad. Or maybe it's really so sad that it's funny. Either way, what is some ugly little nobody like you going to do to me on my wedding day surrounded by my friends and family? Well, I think that I'm going to go find my parents and find my brother and tell them what you've told me. And do you really think that any of them are going to believe what you have to say about me? You really think they're going to take your word over mine? You wish that's how it would work, but you better not even try. If I find out that you do anything to try and ruin this wedding, then I'm going to ruin your entire family. I am going to make it so that your great-grandkids can't even find a job in this town. Do you understand me? Because if you do, then I really think you want to reconsider running your mouth. I think you just need to take a breath and not think about this so emotionally. How about you just keep your little mouth shut? After all, you were good at keeping quiet and hiding in a corner in school, remember? Anyways, I have to get ready for the main event, so if you'll excuse me, I'll get back to changing now. So what do you think? It was pretty amazing, huh? I bet you're just shocked, aren't you? Of course, I knew that I would do amazing. I took a couple of chorus classes in high school and learned then that my voice is just perfect. But good luck following up an act like mine. I mean, I have no idea how I would feel having to follow up a basically pro-level performance from someone of my caliber, but don't worry, I promise that I'm really, really looking forward to hearing you. Oh, yes, Tanya, I think you did a great job. You really are a good singer, and that was a great performance. Well, I don't need someone like you to tell me that, but I bet that you're really, really nervous now that it's your turn to sing, aren't you? But I guess at least now you might be able to feel even a little bit how I felt, isn't that right? I'm sorry, what are you talking about with that? I'm not quite sure what you mean about that. Oh, come on, you know what I'm talking about. Do you have any idea how embarrassing it's been having you be the sister of the man I'm going to marry? The fact that we're going to be literal family makes me just want to die. I get so embarrassed just thinking about it. It's the one ugly little blemish on the otherwise perfect and pristine record that's my life. You seriously just ruin everything that you touch. Did you know that? Do I really make you that embarrassed to be around me? I had no idea you felt so strongly about the whole thing. Well, it's just not fair. Why do I have to be stuck in a family with a failure like you? I just wish I didn't have to deal with you, but at least having you around means I can make you do stuff like this. Now it's your turn to go and sing, so hurry up and get on the stage. Well, okay, I'll get on the stage and sing, but I think that you're going to be in for a big surprise. What in the world are you talking about? The only thing that I'm in for is the cringiest thing in the world that's about to unfold before my eyes. Now hurry up and take the stage. We're all waiting to watch you fail. Oh man, this is going to be so funny. Hey, what the heck is the matter with you, huh? What the heck was that? You better start explaining yourself right now. I'm serious. I'm sorry, but I'm not quite sure what you mean, Tanya. All I did was get up on stage and sing like you asked me to. But I don't understand. It was like you became a completely different person the moment you stood up on the stage. You completely blew my performance out of the water. You made me look like a complete fool in front of everyone. How dare you do something like this to me on my wedding day? You completely ruined everything. I'm really sorry for any kind of confusion, but you were the one who asked me to perform for you, remember? Besides, I said you were a great singer and all, right? I only said that because I would know since I'm a professional and all. But I really did mean what I said. You really have some potential if you train yourself a bit more. That's not what I'm talking about. What I want to know is why in the world a weird little nobody who didn't even go to college can sing better than I can. Oh, I see. Well, if you really must know, I sing opera for a living. That's my job. I mean, I guess I understand why you didn't know that, though. Of course, I can only really work when there's a show in town. So when the opera season dies down, I typically just go and find some work through a temp agency to pass the time. But, I mean, I don't get it. You didn't go to college, you only finished high school, and yet you can sing so well. Well, yeah, you're right. I did only finish high school here, and after I graduated, I actually went to Europe for a few years. I was there to study under an opera singer, and I kind of became her understudy. So, you went to Europe to be an understudy for a real professional opera singer? But here I thought you were just some kind of shut-in weirdo who didn't have any friends. Well, I think you were really the only one who's ever thought that of me. Of course, training for opera takes a lot of time and concentration, so I guess you took the time that I was focusing on myself as proof that I was some kind of recluse. Maybe that's why you're not a professional singer like me, even though it's clear that you fancy yourself a singer. Excuse me? How dare you talk to me like that? Just who do you think you are, talking to me as if you're better than me? Sorry, I'm really not trying to. I'm only being honest with you. But surely you've heard this from other friends too, right? I mean, I imagine that someone must have asked you if you were sure about singing before me. Even in the crowd of the wedding, I realized that I could recognize a few faces from old shows that I'd done. This was all part of your plan then, wasn't it? You set this all up just so that you could try and embarrass me in front of everyone, didn't you? How could you be so cruel? I really don't think that you can say that any of this was my fault at all. In fact, the only reason people laughed at you is probably because of how red your face got and how you stood up all of a sudden. Shut up! That's not it at all! You have no idea what you're talking about. You don't get to talk to me like this. You need to apologize to me right now for what you've done. Actually, as you can see, your wedding party is asking me for an encore. And the one thing you learn about being in my business is that the show must go on. But I do really, really appreciate you warming them all up for me. Thanks for that, Tanya. Yeah, don't you just send that and walk back to the stage. I can see you getting ready to perform again. Are you even reading these anymore? Answer me right now. I am serious. Henry, are you there? I have to talk to you about something really important right now. It is really, really important.
Oh, hey Tanya. What's the matter? I'm actually in the middle of getting changed and ready to head out.
I don't care about that. You and I have something much more serious to be discussing right now. I mean, didn't you see what your sister did to me? She completely humiliated me. She showed me up on my own wedding and made me look like a complete idiot.
Oh, do you really think so? That's really not how I read what was happening at all.
Of course that's what she was doing. I was having so much fun getting to sing in front of all my friends, and then she completely ruined it. She's just completely blown me out of the water. She was good, and it made me look like a total idiot. I can't believe that she would look down at me like that on my own wedding.
I'm sorry, but weren't you the one who asked Dee to sing at your wedding in the first place? Not only that, but you were the one who made it so that she would sing right after you, right?
Well, yeah, I did do all that, but I had no idea that she was a real professional opera singer. Nobody ever told me anything like that. Why didn't anyone tell me that she was that good? Why didn't Dee herself say anything to me about it? Ugh, she really is just the absolute worst.
You think that my sister is that bad? I really don't think that you should be saying anything given all you've done.
What do you mean by that? Where is this coming from all of a sudden? I don't know what you're trying to say.
I'm trying to say that you asked my sister to sing after you did, because you wanted to insult and embarrass her in front of everyone at your wedding, didn't you? Because I really doubt that you would have asked her to sing right after you did, if you knew that my sister was a professional.
Henry, what are you talking about? You don't really think that I was trying to sabotage your sister or anything like that, do you? You know that I would never ever think of doing something like that, right?
Well, I'm afraid that's exactly what I think you were doing. I mean, I know that Dee has always hated being made to sing in front of her friends. You know that in school she was always made fun of for her voice, and that's why she hardly ever spoke back then.
But then I don't get it. How did someone like her get so good at singing if she hardly ever spoke when we were in school together? It doesn't make any sense to me at all.
Well, I only said that Dee wasn't good at singing in front of friends or people that she knew. But she practiced and practiced, and even today she still doesn't like singing in front of family and friends. So I was actually really happy to hear that she agreed to sing at our wedding, because she promised me when we were little that she would only do it this one time for me.
But I don't get what this has to do at all with me and her. You're still not making any sense at all.
Oh, there's a connection to you there. Don't worry. After all, I know it was you who knew Dee's feeling about singing in a place like this and made her do it.
Made her do it? What are you talking about? I didn't do anything, and I didn't know she was a pro singer either. You never told me any of this. But why didn't you tell me about what your sister did for a living? I mean, we're about to be getting married. How could you do this?
Well, I actually wanted it to be a surprise. That's why I never said anything. That's why I was so surprised when she had already agreed to sing at our wedding because you asked her. But I know that I'm not the only one that was hiding things. You have your own secrets too, don't you?
What? Where did you get that? I've never seen that photo before in my life. Wait, no, Henry, please. You don't understand. There's been a huge mistake here, I swear.
A mistake? Just what mistake might that be? What are you even going to say for yourself right now? How could you do this to me on the day that we're supposed to be getting married?
Well, it all just happened so fast, and I had no idea what I had done by the time it was over.
You really need to come up with a better excuse for yourself when you two were kissing long enough for my sister to sneak a picture. But I know that you tried to shut her up to prevent her from letting me know. I know that you've hated my sister for years and years and years now.
Of course I don't hate her. Please, Henry, this is all just one big mistake. I swear that you have this whole thing wrong right now.
Oh, please. It was your plan this whole time to try and embarrass Dee in front of everyone at your wedding. You really are the worst though, but I'm mad at myself too, for letting you get away with it all this time. Well, I'm not gonna let you get away with this anymore. I want a divorce, and I am going to be suing you for marriage fraud.
Wait, what? You mean you're going to try and make me pay money just for kissing some other guy? You can't be serious about this. Henry, be reasonable.
Of course I'm going to sue you, and I'm being very reasonable. After all, I have a legal right to sue a cheating wife. But I guess you thought that you would just never ever be caught doing anything.
Well, you're the one who's going to be throwing all of me away just because of one lousy little kiss. But fine then, see if I care. I'll divorce you and go be with my other man. But you should know that I'm not going to be paying a single cent. No court would ever force someone as pretty as me to pay a loser like you.
You really have no idea how the real world works at all, do you? Do you really think that you're going to get away with what you've done?
You sound like such a sore loser. Do you know that, Henry? Don't you know that all I have to do is go crying to my parents about how mean you are, and I'll make them stop doing any business with your family? You can't do anything to me when I have this much power over you. Besides, the only people you'd be hurting would be your parents. Don't you get it?
And just what makes you so certain that that's how things are going to work out if you go and talk to your parents about this?
Oh, come on. My parents' company is huge and successful and makes a ton of money. Your family's company probably isn't even worth half of what mine is. And that's why it doesn't matter what you do or how you feel. I'll always be able to get away with whatever I want, and nothing is ever going to stop that.
I'm afraid that once again, you are talking about things that you have no idea about, Tanya. For example, you have it backwards. It's my family's company that's more than twice the size of your family's company. So you're going to have to find a new excuse to try and get away with doing whatever you want.
Wait, what? You've got to be kidding me. Is your family's company really worth that much more than my family's company?
That's right. So the only thing going to your parents about this would do is make them upset. After all, you hurt my sister, cheated on me, and have really upset my parents with all of this. Everyone here knows that all of this is all your fault. And you should know now that I am not in a forgiving mood at all. In fact, I just don't think that I can have my family do business with yours after all that you've done.
Hey, Henry, are you there? You better pick up the phone right now. I am serious. Please, you have to pick up the phone and explain to my mom that all of this is just a silly misunderstanding. I'm begging you here.
Oh, don't worry. Your parents are already here in front of my family, bowing their heads and begging for forgiveness.
But then, is it really true that my family's company was relying on contracts from your family's company in order to survive? Because that doesn't make any sense at all.
Wow. You really just don't know anything about your family's business, do you? Sure, the company has been around for a while, but that doesn't mean that it's had some perfect record of management. And starting a few decades back, your family's company's growth began to slow, and prices began to drop until my family's company hired them for their services. Anyways, you should know that we've caught the guy that my sister caught you making out with in the hallway.
That's right, it's him. It's all his fault. He's the reason why this wedding fell apart, and I bet that your sister invited him here to sabotage the whole thing.
Oh really? Because he's saying that you invited him, but that you two weren't anything serious. Although, reading through the messages you've been sending to him, I really don't think that you felt like it wasn't serious.
Ugh, what is his problem? Why would he just blab right away like that?
Well anyways, now that I have all this evidence against you, you should know that there's no way we're getting married now. But the question is, are you going to be an adult about this and accept responsibility for your actions?
Please, Henry, can't we just talk in person? I'm sure that I could settle all of this if we could just talk a little.
That isn't going to happen. I already know the kind of person that you are, and I want nothing to do with you.
Please, Henry, you have to forgive me. I really am so sorry about this. I'm so lost, so confused.
I don't give a damn what you have to say for yourself, or what excuse you come up with in the meantime.
But you can't end your business with my family. We'll be left with nothing. How am I supposed to pay for the lawsuit without my parents' money? I mean, my parents said that they were going to disinherit me over this. I'll get nothing. I have nobody. Please don't do this.
Nothing you say is going to change my mind, but if you want my advice, I suggest you go out and find a job.
Please don't be like this, Henry. I am begging you here.
I'm done with this conversation. We're just talking in circles, and I'm sick of it. Whatever you have to work out between your parents, just leave me out of it. I'll see you in court.
In the end, Henry went through with his lawsuit against Tanya and the man she was having an affair with. They both ended up owing a huge amount in legal fees that they had to go into debt to afford. She begged her parents for help, but they only told her to pack her bags and never come back. She tried finding a job, but her poor record meant that no one was going to hire her. Her whole life plan was centered around riding on my brother's coattails. I have no idea where she is or what she's doing. Having seen that they punished their daughter, however, he kept his contracts with Tanya's parents. Henry came to me months later asking if we couldn't renew our promise of me singing at his wedding because of all that had happened last time. I told him I'd think about it.